What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Um, it has been a while. I apologize for that. I have just been busy with life, but I am back now, and I am doing another ranking video. Um, I was doing these there for a bit, and then stopped, and then I did like some tour reviews and stuff, and so yeah, now I'm back. Um, and today I am going to be ranking seasons of Power Rangers. Um, I thought about doing like all the seasons from Mighty Morphin to um, Cosmic Fury, but I figured there's I don't want it to be oh this is the worst season ever or this is the best season ever. Um, because honestly, there really isn't a worst season. Besides one. Um, I'll get to in a minute. Um, but yeah, and there isn't like the best season ever. Um, so how I'm going to do this is I'm going to split these up. In this video, I am going to rank all of the Saban era of Power Rangers. So this is from Mighty Morphin season 1 to, and I'm including Wild Force into this because in my mind, Wild Force is like the end of like the original Saban era. Um, and then I'm gonna do, and then afterwards I'm going to do Disney, the Disney era, which is um, Ninja Storm through RPM, and then I'm gonna do um, the Neo Saban era, which is Samurai through Ninja Steel, and then I'm going to do the current um, Hasbro era or Hasbro like I'm gonna call it like Hasbro Phase One era, um, and that is Beast Morphers to Cosmic Fury. Um, so so yeah, this isn't. So in this video, I'm just doing the Saban era of Power Rangers, and so yeah. Um, so let's get started. So I'm going to go from worst to best, and this is my personal opinion. There is no definitive list. Um, if you like a season and I don't, good for you. If you hate a season and I like it, good for you. We each have our own way of doing things. But yeah, so uh, the number, the very worst season for me in the Saban era is Mighty Morphin season 1. Um, I mentioned earlier there's not a worse season of Power Rangers, and but personally, I think this is the worst season of Power Rangers ever. Um, I my big pet peeve is people putting on their nostalgic glasses and not taking them off. Um, I believe people who are defending this season have not actually watched it recently. It is so bad. The acting is so bad. There is no plot to the story. There is no story at all. The only good thing about this season is um, Green with Evil, and even then, that has some issues with it. Um, so yeah, this is completely worse, bad. I do not recommend people getting into Power Rangers watching this first. I recommend watching other seasons that I'll get to in a minute. And then if you want to go back and watch where it all started, then you can watch this. Um, at least watch, like the pilot episode and then Green with Evil and probably a couple other episodes after that. But Yeah, don't watch this. It is so bad. Um, so yeah, that's the very bottom. Um, moving on up, I was trying to decide what to put on this one, and I know this season it gets hated on a lot. Um, but for me, it's Power Rangers Turbo. Um, this isn't. It's a bad season, yes, especially the beginning part of the season. The second end, it kind of saved itself. Um, it's so yeah, it's not a bad season, but it's not a great season. Um, and I think really what ruined it is the main cast, the original cast, um, wasn't in it that often. Especially Tommy. Um, I know there was issues behind the scenes. JDF wanted to leave, and yeah, just the way they handled things didn't really work for me. Um, you know, I'm one of the few people that I know that actually likes Justin. I know people hate him, and I still to this day don't understand why. Um, I thought Justin was an awesome Ranger. Um, frankly, he's my favorite character from the entire season of Turbo, and that's including the original cast and the new cast. Um, yeah. So yeah. That's Turbo. Next up on my list is Mighty Morphin Season 2. Um, this did get better. It introduced, the White Ranger, introduced Lord Zed. The White Ranger is actually, uh, out of the Mighty Morphin era. It's actually my favorite suit of Tommy's. Um, and yeah, um, kind of where it fell off a bit for me was the power transfer. Um, I mean, it was fine. Then I liked Rocky Adam and Aisha. Um, it just was not working, I guess. Um, yeah. So uh, I don't know. Like I grew up watching the movie more than I did the series, and so I'm used to Rocky Adam and Aisha more than I am to Jason, Trini, and Zach. But yeah, I thought Lord Zed was pretty cool. Before the whole Rita marriage thing. Um, and after that, it kind of got annoying. Um, and yeah. Next up on my list is Lightspeed Rescue. Now, the reason why I'm putting it here is because I like the season. It's one of my favorite suits. The story with Captain Mitchell and his son Ryan, that whole family dynamic was pretty good. Where it kind of fell off was the characters for me. Um, and especially like, so everybody knows, Carter. Um, Carter was, like the Great Red Ranger. You got Jewel, which was, Sky Cowboy. You got Dana with Captain Mitchell and Ryan. Um, and Kelsey, she had that thing with her grandmother, which was good. Chad, I do not remember Chad at all. And I've watched this season 2, 3 times now, and I still don't remember what the hell he did. Um, there was that thing with like the mermaid, and that was it. So yeah, um, it's just the characters were not memorable. The villains were not memorable enough. Besides diabolical, I mean that's it. Yeah. The acting was okay in my opinion. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I would recommend going back and rewatching this if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend this being the first season to watch, but it's a good season to kind of go back and rewatch. Also, this is the first season too that the Rangers' identities were revealed to the public all season long. So yeah, I liked that dynamic of a season because I believe this is my controversial opinion, but I believe you know the people have a right to know who exactly is protecting them. So yeah, pretty cool. Um, Next up on the list is Wild Force. Um, I was kind of going back and forth between putting Wild Force first or Lightspeed Rescue. Um, and I put Wild Force first because um, I like the dynamic of Cole trying to find his parents, figure out what happened to him. Um, I thought the backstory was good on Princess Shayla and Merrick. I think that's what his name is. Yeah, and so Forever Red. Um, that's obviously like the episode everyone knows about from this season. I thought that was pretty good. However, also has my favorite team up ever, and that is reinforcements for the future. Um, it has it's the time force and wild force team up. Um, so yeah, this is I know this is another season that kind of gets like overloaded to wherever, and people say, oh, you should only just watch Forever Red and that's it. No, watch this whole season. Um, it's a pretty good like starting point too, if you're interested. Um, and then next up is Mighty Morphin Season 3, and I include Alien Rangers in this too. Um, this is my favorite season out of the Mighty Morphin era. Because I liked how the characters at this point were all established. They were all um I don't know where it's going that. Um I like, I think the villains in this season was at their best. Um you got the annoying Rivaldo. You got that dynamic going on. Bulk and Skull were great. Being police detectives. Um, yeah. So season 3 is great. Alien Rangers. I haven't actually watched Alien Rangers recently. But it's a good ending point to the Mighty Morphin era. Um, if you just want like a taste of Mighty Morphin, watch this. You got the movie too, but the movie kind of sucks nowadays. Sorry. Um, but yeah. Next up for me is Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Um, I have a love hate relationship with this season. I like the characters. Um, I like the mythology surrounding their swords and how they get their powers. What I don't like is how they're portrayed as um let me back up. What I don't like is the villains. Um I think the villains are very like you get done watching this season and like who is that again? Um you have the whole Magna Defender storyline. I thought that was great. And yeah, I know people are going to say, "Oh, Trakina," and it's I remember hardly anything the villains did in this season. Um, you have the whole brother dynamic, which is great. You have spoiler, you have Corone um, coming back, and after being a villain from the last season, being a Power Ranger, that's something we never seen before. Um, and yeah, and this was basically the epilogue to the Zordon era, and so that was like yeah, uh that was like hey what's the world universe like after Zordon's gone? Well, here it is. Um, so yeah, this is a good. I wouldn't say this is a good starting point because there's references to the previous season. Um, but at the same time, this was kind of like a yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. Um, if you don't know, I do that a lot. Sorry. Um, so yeah. Next up on my list, this is number 3, and that is Power Rangers Zeo. Um, I like the suits on this. Um, I liked how they got the Zero powers. Um, I thought it was interesting how it was kind of combining tech with like mythological creatures. That was good. Um, yeah, so this was the first time we got completely new suits, if you don't count Alien Rangers. Um, and yeah, so the story was good. The story with Tommy's brother, which was actually JDF's brother, that was good. The story with the Gold Ranger was good, and yeah, um, not really much to say about this season. Number 2 on my list is Power Rangers in Space. Um, this I believe is when we finally started getting like good storylines for PR. Um, now I will say this: I don't really care that much for Corone or Astronema, um, or Astronema in general, just because the beginning portion, out especially, her acting is so bad. She looks like she's trying, but her trying is failing. Um, I'll get more into that if I do like a villains rating. But yeah, um, I like the suits. I like the aspect of space, um, which is why Lost Galaxies kind of up there on my list because they have like the whole space thing, containing the whole space thing. Um, yeah, it has one of my favorite Megazords, the Astro Megazord, on it. Um, and yeah, this is obviously the end to the Zordon era. Um, I like that, although I find it odd that the four, the four, minus Andros, um, are so adamant about finding Zordon when they didn't really deal with him. They dealt with Demetria. So that was weird. But then you have Andros trying to find his sister. That was fine. So yeah, good season. Now, number one season for me, and this comes to no surprise to anybody, and that is Time Force. This is probably my all-time favorite season. Um, uh, I think I had said this in another video, but yeah, this is my all-time favorite season. I love the story. I love the characters. I love the suits. I love the villains. I love everything about this season. If I was to be on a stranded island and could only watch one season of Power Rangers, this is it. Um, and funny thing is, I wasn't even around. I was around, but I wasn't. I was like 2 when the season was out, 2 or 3. But going back and rewatching the season, I loved it. I had actually gotten somebody gave me a VHS, and it was a one of the VHSs that I got was a Power Rangers Time Force VHS, and it was a story. If you've seen the story, it was a story about uh Alex, the original Red Ranger, had come back, and Wes's dad was dying and all that. They combined that arc. It was like 2 or 3 episodes into one movie, um, and that's probably I watched that and then I'm like, okay, I gotta go back and rewatch the whole season. I yeah, I cannot get enough of this season. Um, it has my all-time favorite suit designs ever. It has one of my all-time favorite villains, Rancic. I love Rancic. I love his uh story, like his like backstory on where how he is, why he is the way he is, and his aspect with his daughter, and yeah. So if you want a good season of Power Rangers to watch, and if you want to introduce somebody to Power Rangers and show them, hey, Power Rangers is not just a kid show, to have them watch this. This is, yeah, number one for me. And so yeah, there you go. Like I said, that is my definitive list. Um, and yeah, go like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what else you want to see from this channel, because I am trying to put this channel up the best I can. And like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for my ranking for the Disney era of Power Rangers, because I got a lot to say about that era, and which is probably my favorite era of Power Rangers. Spoiler alert. And yeah, so yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.